Hi everyone, welcome back to our Property Management Market Report. It's been a little while, but aside from stats, there has not been a lot to report. I would like to begin with some market stats and then proceed to discuss new legislation. Let's start by taking a look at what's happening with rental rates. The median rent in Colorado Springs for June was up about 6% from May to $1,937. It's important to note that this applies to all property classes, including apartments. A 6% increase is a significant jump, but it's important to note that we are right in the midst of the summer market when rents usually heat up. This chart shows that the median rent has remained fairly flat over the past 9 months, with a slight increase of $137 from last June. This is great news because many people we talk to around the country are complaining about rents declining. So to be holding steady with a slight increase is really kind of positive, especially as we head into the rest of the summer. The bad news is that properties are staying on the market longer than we're used to seeing. We're hoping that as we head into the new school year, we will see leasing activity pick up. We will keep you posted on this one. Let's move on to legislation, and who doesn't want to hear about that? The Colorado legislative session wrapped up in early May, and as expected, lawmakers passed several bills that will directly impact how we manage your rental properties. This session produced 8 new laws that every rental owner should be aware of. Over the next couple of months, we'll be diving into each of these regulations, breaking down exactly how they affect your investment and outlining the changes we are making in our management practices to stay compliant. So here's what's new. We're going to go through the list this month, and then in the subsequent months we'll go through in detail. So the first one, prohibitions and rental agreements due to death. There are new restrictions on lease clauses related to a tenant passing away in a property. The second one, residential tenant screening. Updated requirements for background and credit checks. The third is tenant security deposit. Protections. Enhanced rules around deposit handling and returns. Protections for tenants with housing subsidies. Anti-discrimination measures for voucher holders. The fourth, tenant and landlord law enforcement. Strengthened enforcement mechanisms. And fifth, pet ownership in residential housing structures. There are new limitations on pet restrictions. The sixth, deceptive pricing strategies. Transparency requirements for rental pricing. Seventh, and finally, housing protections for victims, survivors, expanded rights for domestic violence survivors. So let's take a look at this bill in more detail. Colorado passed Bill 25-1168, Housing Protections for Victim Survivors, which gives major protections to tenants who claim domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking. This law creates serious challenges for us. Here's how this works. A tenant facing eviction can now stop the process by filling out a simple 1-page letter claiming domestic violence. They don't need police reports or court documents, just their word. Once they file this form, landlords must offer a payment plan within 3 days. The tenant can pay as little as $25 per month for up to 9 months. The financial impact: if a tenant owes $4,000 in back rent, they could pay just $225 over 9 months while you still cover your mortgage and expenses. After 9 months, you would still be owed $3,700. Sometimes these situations end well, but those are the exceptions, not the rule. It's been our experience that we often end up chasing someone down for back rent and more. If the police get involved, we can evict the perpetrator, but in this scenario, the tenants don't need to file a report. They can simply write a self-attestation letter. Instead of trying to evict problem tenants mid-lease, which is now extremely difficult, we'll be focusing managing the situation until it gets better, or if the situation doesn't improve, we're building a case for not renewing their leases when they do expire. We will use our detailed records of lease violations like noisy complaints, unauthorized guests, property damage, and late payments to justify non-renewal decisions. This avoids the domestic violence protections entirely while still removing problematic tenants. The bottom line, this law fundamentally changes